What's good, gente? It's your boy Conejo, and fucking today I'm gonna talk about a little experience that I had from going from San Quinn all the way to Ironwood, and how I felt and shit, and who I seen on the way, and who I was housed with, and all that. I also before I start, I'm gonna try not to say the N word, the B word, and I guess sometimes the S word because I mean it does slip out. You know what I'm saying? So I know at first I did say I wasn't gonna really care about what people thought. You know what I'm saying? I was just gonna talk the way I talk, but uh, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more respectful. So I'm gonna try not to say them, but if it does slip out, homie, dispense how it happens. That's just me, G. But I'll try. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me get to this. So early in the morning, they came and they tell me I'm paroling right there in San Quinn. And I was like, what do you mean I'm paroling? I was like, to my knowledge, I still got like another 7 years to go. So he's like, if you're not paroling, you're transpacking. You're going to another prison. So I got hella happy. I was like, hell yeah, I'm out of here. Even though I was in the hole, but I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So they throw us in these little cages right there in R&R, and I'm just chilling. I'm talking to some older Northerners, and well, they're trying to get to my head, but it is what it is. So we're chopping it up, and they start telling us where we're going. So to my knowledge, they tell me that I'm going to Corcoran, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got hella homies there, so I was happy. They gave us like some peanut butter lunches. So every time you transpack and go somewhere, they give you these fucking peanut butter like lunches and shit, so that you don't have to use the restroom. Um, so yeah, Spencer guys. Uh, so we ate our little lunches. We go on the bus. We're on our drive. I came out the hole, so they throw me in the bus, but I'm in a separate cage by myself and shit. And they start putting foods like boom, boom, boom. Like all the whole back is nothing but dropouts. They put the actives, and they got the little small cages, and I'm in one of them, and then the other homies in the other one. And well, we start driving. They start driving us. We start passing prisons, and well, we get to Corcoran, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get off right there. Like, oh, this is my destination. And well, they get the people that they gotta get off, and I'm still stuck there. Like, what the fuck? So I tell the cop, like, hey, this is my spot. This fool tells me, shut the fuck up, man. Don't talk, unless I tell you to talk. Like, so I was like, what the fuck? So I stay quiet. I'm like, whatever, man. The fuck is they usually throw your property, like, if you give them attitude and shit. So be aware, if fucking you get put in that spot, and don't give them fools attitude, cause they'll fuck up your shit. So the bus starts again, and now I'm like, what the hell? So I tell the cop again, I'm like, hey, man, I believe I gotta get off right here, bro. It's not that I'm trying to fucking be rude or whatever the fuck, but this is my stop. Gee, they told me I'm getting off in Corcoran. So this fool's like, here, let me check. And so he checks, and comes out that I'm not going there. It says that I'm going to Ironwood. So I'm young, that's my first term. So I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is Ironwood at? And the fool that was in the cage in front of me, he was a Southsider, and he's like, "Hey, G, I'm going to Chino." I'm going to Chino, and that's like another 2.5 hours more down south. I was like, "Damn!" I ain't gonna lie, I was tripping, especially due to the fact that I already knew a little bit about like some of the other movements, and I'm actually gonna talk about a little story because I know someone in the comments be asking me about like certain incidents with the 2.5 and all that. So I'm gonna do it on that video. This homie wants to start some shit with Sab. I'm cool with Sab, just so you guys know. All right, that's my boy. But yeah. So let me get back to it. So now I'm fucking tripping. I ain't gonna lie, I was tripping, and I was like, damn. All right, so it is what it is. We ended up doing a layover in Tehachapi. And well, they had me by myself. They have 3 cages, or maybe even 4. I think it was 3 though. And they had 3 cages. They threw the dropouts. They threw me in the middle, and they threw the actives on the other side. So the blacks were like kind of like, "What's up, bro?" Like because they see me talking to the dropouts, but it's because I already knew some of them, and they were like, "Hey, are you active?" Woo woo, and I was like, "Yeah, nigga, I'm active. I'm an active writer." And he's like, "What the fuck?" He's all, "Ain't that ain't those dropouts?" Um, I'll explain a little bit about that too. I'm gonna make a video on that, on why people or why writers say that they're active. And so yeah, so there I was like, so I started tripping on them. I was like, well, "What's up, homie? Like, you guys are tripping or what?" And they're like, "Nah, we just want to know if you're a dropout or active, you know." These were all brothers, you know, and so I was like, I just told them, I was like, "Well, nigga, to me and myself, I'm active, homie. I mean, if you're tripping, we can get it, you know." But to remind you, I'm in the other cage. So don't think I'm over here like actually banging on these fools. So here comes the CO, and they're like, "Okay, well, they housed all the dropouts, and they didn't have a cell directly just for myself. You know what I mean?" So they're like, "Okay, so we sold up all these other guys, but there's one that's in a on a single cell, you know. So what do we do?" So they asked me like, "Hey, if I was willing to go sell up with them." I was like, "I don't give a fuck." You know, so they threw me in there with them. And it happened to be one of the fools that was asking me all these questions. So when they threw me in this cage, he was tripping. He was like, "What the fuck?" He thought that we were gonna chunk him. And I just got at him. I was like, "What's up, nigga? I told you, like, it is what it is, you know? Like, so are we gonna have an issue or what?" And he's like, "Nah, nigga." Oh, I just said it again. Spencer. He's like, "Nah, it's all good. If you're willing to stay and just chill, it's gonna be one night. It's all good." So we ended up staying the night there. So the next day, same process. They give us the fucking lunches. Um, they throw me back in the middle because I was in the hole, and so then they throw us in the bus. They throw me back in my little small cage, but this time they packed it. So they put someone next to me in that cage. You know, we're all shackled up. So they put some fool with the blue jumpsuit on. You know, I have a little red one. I don't know if it's the color difference because it was coming from up north or down south, but he had a blue little paper jumpsuit, and this dude has a C14 on his neck. So I'm thinking he's from my neighborhood or something, you know, because we get that shit too, you know, C14 or just a C in the next four, whatever, you know. So I thought this was from my hood. Kind of looked like one of the homies, and so I asked him, I was like, "What's up, G?" I was like, "You a homie?" And he's all like, "What?" He's all, "Not your homie, G." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What the hell?" I want to headbutt that fool, you know? And he's like, "Nah, homie, I'm from Canton 14. I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's what's up, G." And we just stayed quiet after that. We kept it, I told him I was from Watson, and we just kept it cool. But we dropped him off in Chino, too. So after we got to past Chino, I'm like, "Damn, okay, I'm almost there." I'm thinking I'm almost there, but I swear to God, those 2.5 hours were fucking long as hell, man. My ass was hurting from that fucking bus drive. So we get to Ironwood. They give us we missed dinner time, so they gave us more peanut butter and shit. So now I hate peanut butter, bro. So I'm like hella fed up with peanut butter by this time. And they're deciding what they're gonna do with me. Um, I'm endorsed there, but I still owe some whole time. I think I owed like another 30 days. And so I was supposed to go to Sea Yard right there. Um, but the captain was hella concerned. He's like, "Hey man, these fools never seen a norteño, you know?" And why? I told him, I was like, "Well, I'm not that type of norteño. I'm a norteño writer, you know?" And they're like, "Oh, it's the same shit. These fools don't care. As soon as they see that X4 on you or that little Mongo, because I had a Mongo, he's like, they're gonna beat you up. They're gonna get you out of there. They're gonna put holes on you and they're gonna get you out of there." So he's like, "Well, we decide what to do with you. We're gonna throw you on a yard." He's all, it's a brand new yard. They had just opened it for the level 4, and he's all, plus the hole's right there. He's all, so you're gonna go to the hole, finish your whole time, and then after that, we're gonna see what happens. If we're gonna throw you there, or you're gonna go like these other fools, go triple C or whatever to get out of there. So I was like, "Yeah, whatever." So I went to the hole. counselor went back over there to go talk to me, and a couple days later, and told me that my points had changed due to the fact that the last incident, you know. So I was barely a level 4. I had 54 points, I think, at that time, and so yeah, they're like, so you're gonna get kicked off right here at A yard, and yeah, so I got kicked out right there to that yard. At first, I was kind of tripping. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, fuck, because there was a lot of 2-5ers right there in the hole, and they used to talk to me, but I still had like a little. I didn't really know about them, to be quite real. I would just hear like the bad things about them. I believe they had just barely gotten off. There was a big ass riot around that time when I was there with the 2-5ers and just the regular dropout Southerners. I guess they were extorting or something like that, or to the point where all the DOs just took off on them on B yard, I believe, and they got rid of all the 2-5ers there, so they were deep in the hole. So yeah, that's all I was hearing in there. So it was like the 2-5, and so I was like, damn, I wonder how it's gonna be when I hit those yards. Is there any compounds or what, you know? So a month later, I get released to that yard, to A yard, and well, they throw me on the building 1, I believe. Yeah, it's building 1, and they threw me with some black guy from St. Louis. That's what as a matter of fact, that's what we used to call him, St. Louis. Hella cool, lifer and shit. And a reminder, I just came out the hole, so I look hella weird, hella pale. Fucking bushy ass hair. Even though I had a Mongo, you could see the Mongo, but it had bushy ass hair, so I looked like, you could tell I came out the hole. So my celly's like, hey G, do you want me to shave your head? Like, you know what I mean? Like, bake it with the guy got razors right here, and he knew how to cut hair. So I had him fucking shave my head, and I just kept the Mongo. So I was talking to him. I was like, damn, I wonder how it is, because I guess St. Louis had came from San Quinn too. I guess he was right there locked up with me too. He knew me, but I didn't know him. And he's like, hey G, don't trip. I got you. You know, if anything happens. I was like, no, don't trip, homie. Don't get involved. You know, it's because I'm a writer, homie. Whatever happens. So the next day, I shaved my head already. I went to chow to breakfast, and I remind you, it's like people from down south, they ain't really used to seeing Mongols like that. So they were tripping out. Like, everybody just kept, I was like the center of attention. So I was like, fuck. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm just like, I'll just go back to the hole, and then from there they'll move me, I guess, if I get off. So I go to the chow, and once I'm walking, everybody's just looking. There's the workers that work at where the trays are at, fucking in scullery. There was some fool all blasted up, like he's trying to sign language me. But at that time, I knew a little bit, but I wasn't like really good at sign languaging, you know. So I'm like, fuck, here we go, you know? It's about to get down. But, so he's sign languaging me. And I just say, fuck it, bro. I mean, like, I'm not trying to bang on anyone, but, I was like, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So I just threw a bunny at him. I was like, what's up, fool? Like, I gave him my mean face, I guess. And I threw a bunny, and he smiled, and he threw a bunny right back. And he's like, me too, G. And fucking after that, it was cool. I went to go drop off my tray, and he told me that all the compas are right here in the kitchen. I'll try to get you in here. He asked where I was at. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's all, see you in the next yard. When you first get to a prison, you have to do like 14 days in orientation while they fucking process you and all that bullshit. So he's like, on trip, I'll send someone over there to hook you up with some things. I was like, all right, cool. So that's when I fucking got introduced to the independent writers, the IRs, you know, I think their founders are from Riverside, if I'm quite real, you know. But so yeah, so my IR came not to my door, from the bottom. I guess he was a porter in the building, and he started sign languaging me. I asked him if he was a writer. As soon as he said no, I turned around like, man, fuck this fool, you know. This was over here trying to bang on me. Then he came to the door like, what the fuck, fool? Like, why the fuck you just shining me off? Ooh. He was a little hurt, but we ended up becoming hella cool. I believe his name was his name is Lobo. and he was from Riverside and shit. Cool ass fucking IR. And well, they shot me a TV. They shot me a TV, a hot pot, a fan, because fucking Ironwood is hot as fuck, G. So I was straight, you know what I mean? And in Ironwood, that's where I lost the hate, to be quite real, bro, you know? Because I ain't gonna lie, I used to see Southerners, like, especially when I was over there at first, because I wasn't used to seeing Sureños like that, like all blasted with 13s and Sur and all that, you know? So, yeah, that's where I actually lost my hate. I had a lot of compas that are ex-Southerners, and they were there with us chilling. We even had Bloods, too. Shout out to the Bloody from Compton, you know what I mean? He was a compa, too. Or he is a compa. A lifer, he was right there with us and shit. I ended up staying 2 years right there. That's how much I liked it. You know, and the program was cool. So there was no need for me to move out, you know what I mean? With all that being said, guys, that was my experience going down south, you know, just to let people know, like, if you do get put in that spot, don't trip, bro. I mean, it's all raza everywhere. If it's south, north, it's all the same, G. So don't trip. It's just the bubble guts. You know what I mean? It happens to everybody. But it's nothing to really be tripping on, bro. It's just another fucking prison, you know? And all prisons are the same. No other prison's gonna be worse than another one. They all got their bad sides, homie, you know? Some prisons are just well known to the people, but it ain't no biggie. With all that being said, man, I send my love to everybody out there. North, south, black, white, I don't care, bro, you know? So make sure to subscribe, hit them likes for your boy, and I'm out.